Are you still reading syllabus mechanically and not sure about what to make out of it? क्या तुम्हें hidden syllabus के topics पता है? You are still not sure about when scorers say that focus on syllabus and develop interlinkages. The answer lies in this session of SIP 2026, which talk about the decoding the main syllabus. I, Nikhil Joshi, who has appeared for 3 UPSC interviews and has been consistent scorer of 400 plus marks in the GS, would like to share you a recipe for scoring 420 plus marks in GS. Focusing on PYQs, which most of us already do, but the hidden aspect or the game changer would be the syllabus subhead. And here you need to focus on reading between the lines of the syllabus and deciphering what are the hidden syllabus subheads. Let me give you a brief idea about what UPSC syllabus constitutes. So UPSC syllabus actually is divided into two kinds of topics. फर्स्ट वन आर एक्सप्लिसिट टॉपिक्स. सो अब समझिए कि जैसे क्वेश्चन आरपीए पे आता है, क्वेश्चन आता है सेक्युलरिज्म पे, क्वेश्चन आता है कम्युनलिज्म पे. आरपीए वी हैव स्टैंडर्ड सेट ऑफ questions whereby they ask you about the salient features, about whatever the legal provisions are there, whatever the judgments which were passed based on the law we have. So it's a very standard stable established topic, and we, by the way of question, by the look of question, we would know that the topic is of RPA when we see a question from it. Similar is the case with secularism. We know that they generally ask about how secularism differs from the western part, how Indian secularism is better, how Indian secularism actually hand in hand or in conflict with the religious practices that we have. So it's kind of what, where, how, when, and such kind of questions that come from this explicit kind of topics. But the real challenge lies in addressing the vaguely worded subheads, and the questions actually come from how you understand, how you decipher, and how you actually develop content on such vaguely worded topic, which may seem to be cover everything and anything under the sun. So consider this example of there is a GS1 first syllabus subhead, which is issues related to Indian economy. So here they already have 5 parts which are given there: issues related to Indian economy, and related to planning, related to mobilization of resources, related to growth, related to development and employment. So if you understand a bit of economics, you would know that these 5 topics cover anything and everything that comes under the sun in terms of economics. So considering the fact that we should, they give you very blank pages and you need to establish, replicate and manufacture content on spot for the writing of answers, that too in 7 and 11 minutes, 2 and 3 pages. So having a ready-made content about what is being asked under those topics is very much a necessity to score very high marks and write a very relevant content. Similar is the case with GS2 syllabus, which talks about the functioning and responsibilities of union and state government. Anything and everything can be the functioning and responsibility of union and state government, if like if there is a layman and if someone who is very naive in preparation goes through the syllabus. So for that you would need a guiding hand, you would need a someone who has done experience and has gone through the syllabus n number of times to arrive at what a particular syllabus subhead means. And my intention of doing it via nurturing for UPSC and SIP 2026 is the same. To score 420 plus marks, our focus must be ready-made command over the direct topics. So if let's say there is a question on e-governance, there is a question on RPA, there is a question on communalism, there is a question on secularism, question on food processing sector. So these questions are very explicit as the syllabus subhead itself mentions these, and preparing for them is a bit easier compared to the topics which are implicit. But more importantly, explicit topic hold a bit of more coverage, since everyone who prepares for syllabus actually has decent command over these topics. What they lack is command over the implicit topics. In those topics, the focus must be on firstly topic identification, secondly going through what PYQ reflections are there, These two things would ensure that you would have established the contours of the topic, and then once we know what's the blueprint, what's the questions, what's the content that we need to develop upon, what should be structure for it, then we can develop notes and content for them. I will be exhibiting the same in a while. So let's say there is a GS2 topic which syllabus subhead which talks about structure, organization, functioning of executive and judiciary. If you have a certain understanding, you would know that this can be a very big topic. Particularly if you are smart enough, you would catch that there are two different contours that are being highlighted here. They not only talk about the judiciary but also about the executive. So though they in the beginning may seem to be a different contours and different topics, they are interlinked. Let me explain you how. So if we start with the judiciary, there are only 5 6 topics that are probable, and if you have developed content over these 5 6 topics, you can write any question on judiciary. Any question means any question. So first topic would be of judicial appointment. Rather than talking about how the first judge's case was, second judge's case was, third judge's case was, there will always be a question discussion around how judicial appointments must be made more inclusive. How would I know this question is very probable? Because in 2021 they talked about representation of women in judiciary. Inclusivity not only comes from the gender but also other aspects as well. Similarly, the finalization of memorandum of procedure for appointment is can be another topic which inspires a question around appointment. So if we know the contours of appointments, any question related to appointment can be answered by this. Similarly, considering the debate which happened around the burning of cash in one of the high court justices, judicial accountability becomes a very probable and very possible question, and it has always been an evergreen topic since the era of the four judges press conference which took place a few years back. And if we talk about the accountability, then automatically I would know that it may lead to the debate of judicial independence versus the judicial accountability. So if you are been with me now, you would know that I have already linked three topics together. And since there is a issue of accountability and appointment, there would always be the case of pendency of cases in the judiciary. So there, why, how aspects, what are best practices, what should be done. I would know that there is a question on pendency, and I have prepared such content. I can use these best practices, I can use these arguments in answering questions around the accountability as well. Similarly, if there is a pendency and if I am talking about what should be done, automatically one solution comes with the ADR, which is alternate dispute resolution mechanisms. And one of the focus of ADR is tribunalization, like the question which came this year. And if one is smart enough and if one knows, read syllabus very consciously and has someone tell you the what kind of contours are there from tribunalization, natural progression would be the topic of separation of power. So I hope you are understanding how I linked one topic of structure, organization, functioning of judiciary to the separation of power, which is another topic of GS2. And since there is a debate around the separation of powers, automatic the next question in the linkages and thought chain would be debate around judicial activism and judicial overreach. In turn, leads to the structure, organization, and functioning of the executive. So I hope you got the gist whereby I started something from the judiciary, interlinked three different topics, very probable PYQ based topics, to arrive at a concise mind map or the graph of things whereby interlinkages are established. Such interlinkages would mean that you can readily cross utilize the content, the data, for writing very enriched and very value added answers. Talking about how it should be done, our program of SIP, which is of selection, interlinkages, and placement, would similarly do this exercise for the entire syllabus, whereby we would be discussing about the syllabus PYQs and syllabus topics and PYQs to arrive at a ready-made concise topic identification list that would ensure that you would have something, a roadmap to develop content upon. And if we have such developmental uh, approach and topic analysis, then we can always think, ponder to develop certain interlinkages. And of course, to complement it, we would be having a loss program to give right one-on-one interactions and complete feedback. Till then, Jai Hind.